You're watching Channel 13, WTHR, Indianapolis. Now, with coverage you can count on, this is Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 5:30.
Good evening. I'm Anita Smith, and this is my new partner.
Good evening. I'm Mark Clegg.
Tonight, a former state official whose job made him accountable for billions of your tax dollars admits keeping some of that money for himself. Former Deputy State Auditor Michael Bosworth says he's guilty, he's sorry, and he's ready to be punished. Eyewitness News reporter Rich Van Wyk has tonight's top story.
30-year-old Michael Bosworth walked to court looking nervous, sounding apologetic, and not making any excuses for stealing almost $17,000 from taxpayers.
I am incredibly sorry. I feel an exorbitant amount of grief and shame. I've single-handedly destroyed my family.
The former deputy state auditor did something almost unheard of in crimes of this magnitude. In his first court appearance, he pled guilty, promised to pay back the state, and put himself at the mercy of the judge.
I'm certain that the state will make an argument that some jail time would be appropriate in this case.
As the person in charge of the state's payroll, Bosworth didn't deduct enough taxes from his own paycheck, then doctored computer records to make it look as if the money were actually withheld. Why did he do it?
I have been, there was no particular issue that came up, no particular financial need for it. I can't even answer that myself.
Bosworth worked the scheme for 3 years and nearly got away with it. A State Board of Accounts audit discovered the discrepancy only after an auditor's office worker tipped him off. What did you spend the money on?
Normal, everyday type of living expenses. Nothing in particular.
An official of the State Board of Accounts insists Bosworth's criminal bookkeeping would have eventually been discovered. But consider this, every year, hundreds of millions of dollars are withheld from the paychecks of tens of thousands of state workers. The state admits that finding discrepancies of just a few $1,000s, where that money came from and where it went, could take years. Enough time for the statute of limitations for those crimes to expire. Anita?
Mr. Bosworth had some interesting comments. How much jail time is he looking at?
Well, he's looking at as many as 3 years in prison, and the judge could suspend all of that and just assign him to probation. We'll see what happens next month.
All right. Thank you a lot, Rich. Tonight, a semi-driver sits in jail after leading police on a high-speed chase through 3 counties. Police say it started just south of I-465 on I-65 around 1:30 this morning. A Marion County deputy saw a truck with no lights and followed it. But when the truck reached Johnson County, it crossed the median and sped south in the northbound lanes. Finally, in Shelby County, police were able to use stop sticks to blow out several of the big rig's tires. They arrested Joseph Kane of northeastern Indiana, who they say had drugs in his pocket.
Tonight, there's a water war brewing in one small Indiana town. Police arrested 2 teens for having a little fun with some squirt guns. Now they're in hot water.
It wasn't really a game. It was just having fun.
What some consider innocent fun turned criminal when police arrested 2 teenagers for squirting water guns at passing cars. Connersville police charged Christopher Houston and Mike Hobbs with criminal recklessness. Mike says he and his friends spent last Saturday night like most in this small town, entertaining themselves.
We were out in town riding around and people started squirting us. So we thought, well, let's just go home and get mine. Then we'll squirt our friends back, you know. We didn't have any idea we'd get arrested for it.
Chris agrees. He couldn't believe it when police took him into custody.
If I knew we could go to jail for something like that, I wouldn't have been doing it.
But Connersville police say it's a big problem in their town.
We're hoping it's sending a message.
Officer Darren Clark arrested Christopher and Mike that night. He says games like that could lead to serious injury and even death.
They think they're out here, you know, all their friends are doing it, and they're not hurting anybody. It's not a game. They're out here in 4,000-pound vehicles. It wouldn't take much for somebody to get hit, lose control, and then we have a problem.
The squirt gun arrest has stirred up quite a bit of controversy. This child's toy has many people asking if the arrest was fair.
If it wasn't so serious, it'd be funny.
Ola Mulliken is Christopher's grandmother. She thinks it probably happened out of boredom.
They have no place to go in Connersville anymore. In a way, it's a little scary.
The 2 teens face a Class A misdemeanor because the crime involved a vehicle. That means they could get a year in jail and a fine of up to $5,000.
Well, tonight, 2 Anderson teenagers are in jail right now, charged with setting fire to a spiritualist camp. Investigators say Nathan Daniel and Robert Warely, both 19, torched Camp Chesterfield last year. Police say the 2 burglarized the place before setting the fire, which destroyed most of the camp. In a rare display of political muscle, Indiana Senator Dick Lugar jumped into unfamiliar territory by taking on a powerful Republican colleague. Mr. Lugar lashed out against North Carolina Senator Jesse Helms for refusing to hold hearings on the president's nominee for ambassador to Mexico. Eyewitness News anchor John Stair has more.
Senator Richard G. Lugar, Indianapolis, Indiana.
As he got a service medal around his neck, Dick Lugar prepared for one of the biggest fights of his career. Mr. Lugar and other Senate committee members want to hold a hearing on the nomination of former Massachusetts Governor William Weld as ambassador to Mexico. Senator Helms refuses to call a hearing because Governor Weld supports the use of marijuana for medical purposes.
I think most Americans want to make certain that there is no one in a dictatorial position in our committee situation and that every American has a chance to be heard.
To put some force behind his words, Senator Lugar hinted that unless Weld gets his hearing, the Agriculture Committee may stall tobacco settlement talks later this year. Mr. Lugar controls the Agriculture Committee's agenda. Indiana constituents lined up behind their senator.
And I think since he's familiar with that area, then if he thinks that he would represent us well, then he should stand up for what he believes in.
I think Senator Helms always thinks that he can just use his political might to push other people around, and I'm supporting Lugar in that move.
Tobacco industry support means a lot to the North Carolina senator, and his constituents will watch those talks very closely.
It's a very serious subject, very large element of both business and health and the future of America, so we're going to take that very seriously.
We tried but couldn't reach Senator Helms for a comment today, although a spokesman did tell us that Mr. Helms doesn't plan to dignify Senator Lugar's remarks with a response. Mark, Anita?
All right, thanks, John.
Still ahead on Eyewitness News at 5:30.
UPS and Teamster negotiators keep talking, but are they any closer to putting all the UPS trucks back in the delivery business? Find out at 5:41.
Another picture-perfect day to head to the State Fair. Look at there. Here's a live look at the fairgrounds. At 5:42, Bob Gregory brings you the SkyTrack forecast.
And the State Fair is not the only big event this weekend. 2 mega stars join forces to give you a summer thriller. That's at 5:44.
Stay tuned for these stories and more ahead on Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 5:30. Connect 13 to get the latest SkyTrack weather forecast. Call 464-1313, then press 2. It's a free call for Ameritech Cellular customers. Closed captioning is sponsored by Kendrick Hospital and the Center for Hip and Knee Surgery.
Get ready for the return of the Pontiac Race to the Red Line. Now the excitement of Sunfire is hotter than ever because the real set of wheels you can really afford is ready for driving adventure with this great 97 model closeout value.
Right now, get GMAC financing as low as 2.9% APR or $750 cash back on Sunfire.
Get into the action now for the best value of the year at the Race to the Red Line.
See your Central Indiana Pontiac Pack dealers today.
Hi, I'm Tony Danza, and I have a new comedy this fall on NBC. Now, the girls that play my daughters are in this room.
My sister said he was on some show called Who's the Boss?
My mom said he was on some show called Taxi.
I think there's another one, too.
My mom thinks he's cute.
Ew!
I think it's important to respect the child's privacy.
The Tony Danza Show, NBC Wednesdays this fall.
So what'd you get at the Meyer Back to School sale?
Computer desk, CD rack,
Right.
chair,
Good.
lamp,
Sure.
laundry basket.
Save on Junior's Falls Creek 5-pocket corduroy pants, just $17.99. Plus, get 25% off the entire stock of Converse shoes for men, women, and kids.
Yeah, Dave.
Dear Dave, we were coming home from the track the other day and saw Wendy's Smoky Bacon Cheeseburger was back, so I bought a bunch of them for the boys. Man, was it delicious. 3 strips of hickory smoked bacon, smoked cheddar, savory sauce, and sauteed onions. And they made them fresh when I ordered them, so they were hot and juicy. Stop by sometime and I'll show you the new car. Your buddy, Dale Jarrett.
Dear Dale, that'd be great. I'd love to take it for a spin.
He's kidding, right?
Come into Wendy's and try our smoky bacon cheeseburger today.
In the classroom or on the sports field, success depends on good vision. Now, Vision Values makes it affordable. See your best with new contact lenses from only $29.98. Or get glasses and contacts from only $59.98. Get straight A's on vision and value with new contacts from $29.98 or glasses and contacts from $59.98. Only at Vision Values.
Tonight, State Attorney General Jeffrey Modisett wants to put the brakes on car theft. He's pushing for tougher laws to curb a growing problem. A report out today says thieves stole an average of 500 cars a week last year in Indiana, and that cost taxpayers more than $100 million. Here's a look now at the top 5 stolen cars in the state. Number 1, the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, followed by Olds Delta 88, Buick LeSabre, the Pontiac Grand Am, and finally the Buick Century. Nationwide, the Honda Accord ranks as number 1 with robbers.
Negotiations continue between UPS and the Teamsters, but tonight there's no end in sight to the strike against the package delivery company. It's now day 5. Both sides met in Washington again today, but they appear unwilling to budge from their demands. Union officials say they'll dig in until the company begins to bargain seriously. The Dow closed down more than 156 points today at 8031.22. Market experts blame the hit on investors' fears that the Fed may take steps to slow the economy. And the Nasdaq lost ground as well, closing down more than 25 points at 1598.52.
Now, Bob Gregory's SkyTrack weather forecast, approved by the American Meteorological Society.
Well, we're out here right by the gazebo at the Indiana State Fair, and we're getting set to have the first full weekend of the fair. And with that, there will come the chance for a couple of showers. A fellow went by here earlier with an umbrella. I said, where did you just bring that with you today? No, I bought it tonight for the concert. I said, you won't need it tonight, but maybe tomorrow night. So that seems to be the prospect. We need some rain badly. We'll talk about what's coming up here for you in just a moment. Mass Cam, let's go down that way here on Main Street as we head toward the Coliseum and the back of the grandstands there. And deep in that crowd is our Channel 13 booth where you can stop by and pick up some pictures and magnets and keychains and all kinds of stuff. And Liz Daly's been in there meeting and talking with some folks this afternoon. Our forecast as far as this evening is concerned, just a great night for you. We'll look at 68 degrees by 11 o'clock tonight. Have partly cloudy skies. There are not many clouds out here now, but we'll see them start to come up our way from the south, and that's what's eventually going to bring some showers, but not until after midnight tonight here in central Indiana. Here's a story from our weather watchers all around the area this afternoon. 87, the top mark. Leslie Durham over in the Greencastle area called in the 87 this afternoon. Over in the eastern part of the state, have several 82-degree readings from Newcastle right on up through Muncie and P.G. Jellison there in Portland. Logansport, we have 86 degrees from Tom Rogers up there. Phil Miller in Frankfort with an 82-degree reading. Downtown, of course, that's our current temperature at this hour is 84 degrees, our hot number. In Beech Grove, the Keplers with 81 under their thermometer shed today. Up in Noblesville, Matt Beals with an 83-degree reading. Bob Long in Claremont has 85, Bob Brown in Plainfield with 88. So those are some of the Weather Watcher call-ins. We're looking toward the south now, and you can see our clouds throughout the afternoon hours, generally from 2 to 5 this afternoon, and those clouds will thicken up from the south later on. There is a chance of some precip coming our way. We'll talk more about that for you coming up at 6 o'clock and during the 6 o'clock show. So we're down almost an inch already. We haven't had a drop of rain yet in August, and everybody that goes by, especially all the farmers, say, man, we need a lot of water. So that's it from the fairgrounds. And help me give a nice welcome, if you will, to Mark Clegg, who comes aboard with us. Mark and I had a chance to go out to the brickyard, and he paddled it around with me for a while. And Mark, of course, knows a great deal about humidity because, Mr. Clegg, it is a lot worse where you came from than here, even though it's pretty tough here, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. Southeast Texas has a good share, but we have a good fair there, too, and I'm looking forward to getting out this weekend and getting a good taste of the fair food.
Oh, they got millions of choices out here.
I
Have
saw
to
you-
have an elephant ear for one and pork chop for another, you know?
Oh, I can't wait.
Non-fattening stuff, okay?
It's going to be fun. Thanks, Bob.
Okay, I'll see you
All
later.
right. Well, after a trip to the fair, you might want to catch the last of this summer's big budget blockbusters. The thriller Conspiracy Theory, starring Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts, opens today. Warner Brothers paid $75 million to make this movie.
Seems like the price keeps going up each time they make one, doesn't it?
That's true.
Well, the state fair wouldn't be complete without the animals, but sheep breeders want you to know shearing is not the only thing they can do with the animals. Find out how they want to tempt you at 5:54.
But first, let's go to Chris Stout. He's live at Victory Field. And Chris, you got a hot story there tonight.
I'm telling you, what a great day for baseball. The Indians, a doubleheader coming up. Bad news, it's sold out. We've got some very big news in baseball, though. Is Pete Rose returning to coach the Reds? We'll tell you about that coming up next in sports.
New on Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock.
I'm Ann Ryder. Tonight, it's enough to turn your stomach. Hundreds of rotten fish. Children play only a few yards from this horrible scene. New at 6, what caused it, and will anybody do something about it? Also new at 6, a crusade of hope. A mother finds a mission after the murder of her daughter. How she hopes to help abused women and children throughout Indiana.
Stay tuned for these stories and more ahead on Channel 13 Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock. The Associated Press, the Society of Professional Journalists, and the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences all agree. WTHR is #1 in news in Indianapolis and the region, honored with more than 40 awards this year alone. Our commitment to news is a commitment to you. Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Sometimes when you're shopping for lumber, it's hard to find a good piece. You run into flaws like these. Pitch pockets, warped, waned. That's why Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse carries Top Choice lumber. Top Choice is guaranteed free from most defects, so you get lumber that's straighter with fewer knots and less bark for no more than some places charge for lower quality lumber. Ooh, see this? We call that kindling. No good. Top Choice lumber at Lowe's. Because when it comes to lumber, Lowe's knows.
Hi, I'm Tony Danza, and I have a new comedy this fall on NBC. Now, the girls that play my daughters are in this room.
My sister said he was on some show called Who's the Boss?
My mom said he was on some show called Taxi.
I think there's another one, too.
My mom thinks he's cute.
Ew!
I think it's important to respect the child's privacy.
The Tony Danza Show, NBC Wednesdays this fall.
Ray Skillman Discount Oldsmobile GMC truck is having a closeout sale. Ray Skillman has the state's largest selection of Oldsmobiles, GMC trucks, and luxury vans for you to shop from. During this sale, take advantage of low 2.9 financing on select cars and trucks or rebates up to $2,000, plus discounts up to $7,000. During this sale on a nicely equipped luxury van for only $19,900 plus freight and rebates. The closeout sale is on, so see us now. Ray Skillman Discount Oldsmobile GMC truck, just 1/2 mile north of the Greenwood Park Mall.
Exercise anytime I want.
Try something new.
Fix up an old friend.
When it comes to retirement, it pays to plan ahead. Talk to your Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent so that when you do retire, you'll have the freedom to do, well, whatever.
Write the great American novel.
Aprenda una nueva lengua. Spend more time with my grandchildren.
Planning you need from a company you know. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome back live to Victory Field, everyone. I'm Chris Stout, filling in for Dave Calabro today. The Indians are getting ready for a doubleheader. They have won 11 in a row. They're going to try for 12 and 13 tonight. The club record is 14, and I've just received information. I was wrong a minute ago. There are some seats left. Photographer Rob Lynch will show you these lawn seats. There are about 300 left. You can come out and get a perfect view of the game. If you bring your glove, you might even get yourself a home run. We'll have highlights of the Indian games tonight on the Night Beat, but some other big baseball news today. Let's tell you about that in the High Five headlines. If Pete Rose applies for reinstatement next week, Reds general manager Jim Bowden said he would absolutely be interested in having baseball's hit king manage the Reds again. Rose has said during his ban from baseball that he has no interest in managing again. The Cubs are apparently planning on the future. Center fielder Brian McRae and pitchers Mel Rojas and Turk Wendell were traded to the Mets for Lance Johnson and 2 players to be named later today. The Colts are off this afternoon. They'll face San Diego tomorrow without fullback Roosevelt Potts. Potts was given until today to re-sign with the Colts. If and when he does report to camp, he'll have to miss 3 games without pay. The Colts' sack leader last season is headed to Tennessee. Richard Dent is close to signing a contract with the Tennessee Oilers. Dent played his college ball at Tennessee State. And Brickyard 400 winner Ricky Rudd is no longer celebrating. In fact, the Tide car wrecked in qualifying today at Watkins Glen. Rudd is all right. Todd Bodine is on the pole.
Horrendous accident.
And baseball is in the air at Victory Field. Joining me now live, Trent Daniel Early, a Little League baseball player. We got a lot of Little League in town. You said you play baseball, Little League baseball? Trent, you got to start talking to me. He's getting nervous. The camera's raising him up. Come on, big guy. You played baseball. You want to play big league someday, right? Yeah. Okay, well, Don Hein has a little piece. The Little Leaguers are in town. They're getting ready for the World Series. The winner of the Little League Central Region goes to the World Series. Don Hein caught up with them today.
It's just like the Bigs. Pre-game introductions, cheerleaders, and bad music. It's Omaha, Nebraska versus Naperville, Illinois in the 12-team affair.
We've got a real strong pitcher starting today. He's jugged about 73 miles an hour on a jugs gun.
Now, 73 miles per hour doesn't sound too quick when you're talking about major league standards, but they're throwing this thing from 46 feet, so that translated would be about 100 miles per hour.
Unfortunately for Nebraska, Naperville was tattooing that fastball, and the pitcher's mom was getting nervous.
Oh, I've got this as a clutch. Let me tell you, I stand, I sit, I pace. I suck on these a lot.
But what a great experience for all the young men. Guaranteed 5 games in the round robin, a shot at the World Series, and they can stay right on the grounds.
Absolutely. Dormitory complex. We take care of all 12 teams while they're here. We've got some great facilities for them to have fun when they're not playing baseball.
Dyer, Indiana plays Davenport, Iowa tonight at 8:15. I'm Don Dizzy Hein, 13 Eyewitness Sports.
All right, thank you, Don Dizzy Hein. We'd also like to welcome Mark Clegg joining us now. Mark, welcome to town. I understand you went to the race last week, so all you Hoosiers out there, he is officially a Hoosier. He's been at the track. He knows what it's about. Welcome, Mark. We're glad to have you.
Hey, I love it. You know, I've also been out to Victory Field already. I got to catch an Indians game.
Great night for the ball game.
Oh, yeah. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
We're just getting you indoctrinated
here.
I'm
loving this.
You probably know what the best fair food is, too.
Well, you know, when it comes to fair food, I'm sure most Hoosiers prefer pork and beef, and so do I.
But one group wants to get fair-goers to sample something different. Watch for this at 5:54. Find out what food they're pushing.
17 stitches. Can you believe it?
Yeah. I saw the 2x4 that hit you. How's your head? It's gotta hurt.
Man, it did. But the doctor gave me Tylenol. Extra strength.
Tylenol? With everything they have here.
Man, the stuff works. Come on, let's get out of here.
More than aspirin, more than ibuprofen. For the pain of traumatic injuries, Tylenol is recommended the most by doctors.
A 2x4.
Don't remind me.
Hey, steak lovers, don't eat. Get good and hungry
for the greatest all-you-can-eat event on the planet. All-you-can-eat sirloin steak at Ponderosa Steakhouse, only $7.99. As much delicious plain grilled sirloin steak or chicken as you can eat. Plus Ponderosa's all-you-can-eat buffet and sundae bar, all for only $7.99. So hurry into Ponderosa for all-you-can-eat sirloin steak or chicken. Just bring your appetite. Oh, and $7.99.
It moves with grace, effortless. It is the American-built flagship of Toyota. With a spacious interior and all the roominess of an endless horizon. Avalon, experience the tranquility.
It's that time of year again, the sound of children's laughter and the wheels of the bus going round and round. But when they stop, it's time for school. So now's the perfect time for Hills, with low prices every day on name brands and Hills' convenient layaway plan. Save on Hanes Basics for your whole family. Find the best selection of backpacks, low prices on boys' Rustler soft wash jeans, girls' Gitano corduroys.
Save every way, save every day at Hills.
Donuts, made fresh daily from Village Pantry. It's the taste everyone's after.
And if you're thirsty, it's new, it's big, it's Coke. The new 64-ounce Fountain Coke from Village Pantry.
At the State Fair, there's chicken, pork, and meat, and that's what people eat. But there's another meat that farmers hope you'll try. They say just give it one taste and you'll be back. Eyewitness News reporter Chris Prophet brings you the story.
The Indiana State Fair is about animals. It's also about the food they produce. Try selling lamb burgers instead of pork burgers or a steak sandwich. That's like trying to sell sweaters in the desert. But the farmers that breed the animals are trying to dispel the notion that lamb is only good for wool.
Getting fairgoers into the sheep barn is a lot easier than selling them on the taste of lamb, but that is what the Indiana Sheep Breeders Association is trying to do.
We want to promote lamb, and here at the State Fair is the best place where we can reach the most people.
Indiana's 3,200 sheep breeders control a herd of 76,000 sheep, making us the 10th largest state for sheep producers in the nation. A big industry overshadowed by the state's pork and meat producers who control the vast majority of consumer taste buds.
Most people are a little hesitant to try lamb the first time, but we found that once they do, that it's easier and they come back.
And most of that consumer coaxing is done at the State Fair. With a limited advertising budget, the State Fair produces a captive and hungry audience.
Well, truthfully, it was in comparison to ostrich and emu, because no fat, it was real tender. I loved it.
And the state sheep industry is hoping that kind of testimony and word of mouth will make lamb roll right off the tongue. Chris Prophet, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
Another sheep byproduct, lanolin, is used to help burn victims. Indiana sheep producers are also marketing another product, sheep's milk. You've learned a lot. Been a lot of places, learned a lot.
Anything on a stick out at the fair, I think you got to eat.
All right. While we say hello to a new friend, we also have to say so long to an old friend, the lady you do not see very much because she's behind the scenes. Cecilia Marquis is moving to Phoenix with her husband, so we want to say best wishes and good luck. And when she comes back, we'll be here.
And I'm going to be here for a while. I'm really liking this. This is great.
Great. Well, hundreds of dead fish turn a city park into a smelly mess.
See if anybody will clean up the mess on Eyewitness News at 6 next.